morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, a wealthy attorney who came close to being elected governor of Maine in 2010 is expected to plead guilty to possessing videos and images of child sexual abuse.
76-year-old Elliot Cutler is due in an Ellsworth courtroom on Thursday. According to court documents, he's expected to serve 9 months in prison as part of a plea agreement. Cutler is expected to plead guilty to 4 counts of possession of sexually explicit material of a child under the age of 12, according to terms of the agreement hammered out with prosecutors. The judge would still need to approve that deal. The sentencing memorandum describes Cutler's addiction to pornography, with Cutler acknowledging that he downloaded hundreds of images and videos. His attorneys noted that Cutler never engaged in inappropriate conduct with children. Cutler ran for governor twice as an independent, losing in 2010 by less than 2 percentage points to Republican Paul LePage.
In other news tonight, a man is facing multiple charges after a 20-hour standoff in Auburn. Around 3 o'clock yesterday, police responded to a report that someone shot at a person's car. The caller said he and the suspect, 47-year-old Darian Saunders, got into an online fight that escalated into threats. Police say he drove by the suspect's home after the suspect gave him the address looking for a fight. Auburn police say Saunders refused to come out of his home and fired rounds at police. The standoff ended peacefully around 10:15 this morning, nearly 21 hours later. Saunders faces multiple charges, including elevated aggravated assault.
MSAD 41 superintendent has suggested that the district hire their first ever school resource officer. But there are still questions that need to be answered, and our A.J. Douglas talked to Milo's police chief to learn how that proposal could become reality.
You never know when something or where something is going to happen, and I think that point has been driven home across the country.
Milo Police Chief Nicholas Kluge says he is open to discussing if and how a school resource officer could serve the town of Milo's schools.
It's going to be basically a safety and security position. A lot more discussion needs to happen.
The Milo Police Chief says the decision could ultimately come down to funding.
That's a challenge, being on 2 different budget cycles. They go in the summer to summer. We go from January 1st to December 31st.
MSAD 41 Superintendent Michael Wright says it's time for an officer to assist in the schools. Wright says the district is open to funding the position while school is in session. However, he's requested that the town take over those employment costs when the schools are closed during the summer and other breaks.
School isn't in session 12 months out of the year, so you have to employ the person full-time for those 12 months.
Kluge says the position could cost an estimated $90,000 annually. We talked to some community members who endorsed the idea, saying teachers deserve the support of a school resource officer. The town select board plans to discuss if the proposed position can be partially funded with municipal funds during Tuesday night's meeting. In Milo, A.J. Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, will send nearly $16 million to a Bangor hospital for its efforts during the pandemic. A statement from FEMA says the money will reimburse Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center for the costs of hiring temporary staff to deal with increased patient loads between September 2021 and May of 2022. So far, FEMA has provided more than $270 million in public assistance grants to Maine to reimburse the state for pandemic-related expenses.
An invasive fish species is wreaking havoc in the Belgrade Lakes region, and the problem is growing. Maine wildlife officials say in the early 1980s, the northern pike was illegally introduced to the area. The northern pike is an apex predator, an aggressive fish known to outcompete other fish and take over bodies of water. They also prey on native fish, including salmon. Experts say once these invasive fish are established in bodies of water, they're almost impossible to remove.
These pike have just expanded and exploded in that watershed. Now we find them in over 40 lakes and ponds in Maine, whereas it used to be in just one. It really is an issue when it comes to, protecting some of our native fish like brook trout and landlocked salmon. and some of our fisheries for smallmouth and largemouth bass.
He says if you are caught with live fish trying to stock a pond, you can be fined up to $10,000. Lottie says he hopes the steep fine makes people think twice about putting fish where they don't belong.
Well, after an uptick in Lyme disease cases last year, experts are spreading awareness about preventing tick-borne illnesses. Our David Ledford tells us more.
Tick season has begun. While the exact numbers are hard to predict, experts say that Maine's milder winter could likely mean a rise in the state's tick population.
With the warmer temperatures, they have an easier time surviving that winter, so they can emerge in higher numbers. So we can see those warming trends during the winter months contributing to expanding tick numbers and expanding tick distribution.
According to the Maine CDC, there were more than 2,600 cases of Lyme disease in 2022, an illness spread by deer ticks. Additionally, the CDC recently reported that babesiosis, another disease carried by ticks, is now considered endemic in Maine, meaning it is regularly found in the region. Experts say it's best to wear clothing that fully covers your skin and to make the area around your home less hospitable to ticks by mowing the lawn and using pesticide sprays. However, protection goes even further than that. Experts say it's important to check your pets and yourself for ticks after spending any amount of time outdoors, not just after a hike or a walk in the park, because ticks can be found in places you might not expect.
What we found with the tick submissions to our lab is that the majority of people that are encountering these ticks and sending them in are picking them up kind of in and around the home landscapes, like just going down to check the mail at the end of the driveway or taking the dog out for a quick walk.
For dogs, experts recommend tick collars and the Lyme vaccine. Dr. Kate Domenico, president of the Maine Veterinary Medical Association, says it's important to look out for warning signs in your pets.
So the signs that we see is that your pet could be simply just not eating. They could have a fever, lameness. They could just not be able to get up, so their legs act like they're not working.
In humans, experts say Lyme disease can produce flu-like symptoms and sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash near the tick bite. Tick season typically runs from spring to fall. If you suspect you have a tick-borne illness, visit your healthcare provider as soon as possible. In Orono, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Always good to have a reminder discussion about that, because every year it seems like we see case numbers, trend upward, and, hearing last year that there were more ticks carrying Lyme disease than before, as well as other tick-borne illnesses like babesiosis, anaplasmosis.
Right.
Those are all dangerous to humans and dogs.
Yeah, Lyme disease being that big one that we talk about so frequently, but there are so many other illnesses that they can carry. And like you said, a really great time of the year to just talk about it. I've already picked off several ticks off of myself, off of my dog.
Same.
This year alone. So just got to be mindful.
And they're super small too. So sometimes, you may not even realize that they're on you. So really the only way to know for sure is to do a check.
Exactly.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we had an unexpectedly warm and sunny day today. Let's see what else is coming our way, at least for the overnight, with a first check of our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth. What a messy day out there today. It wasn't raining all day, though. We did have some scattered rain showers, especially just west of town, with some steady rain still falling right now. Those yellow colors indicate a little bit heavier rain. Visibilities are a bit low in spots. Here in town, Bar Harbor, Rockland, we are clear from the rain, but just to the west, we're looking at a little bit more rain. Visibilities down to maybe 4 miles in some spots. We're looking at some spots just west of Rockland at around maybe 8 miles. Portland has some pretty steady rain falling with visibilities close to 2 to 3 miles. It is a bit breezy out there as well. 13-mile-an-hour wind here in town. The coast is starting to die down. Winds are starting to settle in. We do still have small craft advisories that are in effect around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, and some flood warnings that aren't in effect as well just west of town, with all that rain still coming down. Tonight, though, we're looking at scattered rain showers with temperatures cooling off, hovering in those mid-40s. Beth?
Alrighty, Conrad, thanks so much. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. Today was Teacher Appreciation Day. We'll tell you what one area business did for their local educators.
And our Matthew Dronsick takes reports on the state of Maine's tourism industry as we head into the busy summer season. Stay tuned for those stories and much more coming up.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
When Loring Job Corps wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Loring Job Corps offers the skills you need to succeed in today's workforce at no cost to you or your family. Check us out today at loring.jobcorps.gov. Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman. When the Katahdin General Store wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to the KG for fishing, hunting, and camping supplies, souvenirs, unique gifts, apparel like Lazy One, fresh sandwiches and baked goods, the beer cave, liquor, and a variety of takeout items.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
It's an epic new season with weekly themes and a special new twist.
What? Somebody's messing with us.
The Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Hello, everyone. A growing number of Maine schools are employing school resource officers to help protect students from danger. Among them is the town of Milo, which is looking for ways to pay for an officer there in the wake of recent school shootings. We'll hear from them on the next Good Morning Maine. We hope you'll join us then.
Local businesses were giving back to educators in their communities for Teacher Appreciation Day. Stanley Subaru in Trenton and Stanley Chevrolet in Belfast gave local teachers gift bags in honor of their special day. The bags included certificates for free oil changes, that's pretty handy, at both dealerships, as well as $1,500 gift cards from the Belfast Hannaford. There were also flowers from local shops.
So watching the teachers light up, this was an exciting surprise for them to be recognized. We spend a lot of time celebrating student success, so just taking a minute to celebrate teacher success is fantastic.
The owner of Stanley Subaru and Chevrolet, Mark Polite, says it's important to recognize teachers because their work often goes unnoticed. But he says without them, we'd be lost. I quite agree.
Meanwhile, an Oakland couple is taking their love for cooking on the road with their very own food truck. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Across from the North Street Playground in Waterville, Derek DeFelice works the grill inside the Heroes on Wheels food truck.
I served in the Army from 03 to 09, did 2 deployments, Iraq, Afghanistan, and been out since 2009 and finally found our passion.
The couple closed their Heroes House of Pizza business in Skowhegan in 2022, instead opting to work side by side with one another on the road. The DeFelices say they have no regrets opening their own food truck. They say the Heroes on Wheels business allows them to be their own boss.
A lot of people have a hard time getting along with their husbands, especially being around them so much. But we get in the truck and we only communicate about the orders that we need.
The couple loves making burgers, hot dogs, Caesar salads with homemade dressing, and doughboys.
Our most popular items are probably our steak bomb. Everything's made to order. We get fresh bread trucked in for Mass every week. It's an amazing seller.
I got a steak and cheese, a couple hot dogs, a cheeseburger, and a chicken basket.
When the duo isn't catering at weddings, campgrounds, festivals, or other events, they park their business on the corner of Johnson Heights and North Street in Waterville. It just so happens to be where Derek's mother lives.
I absolutely think it's fantastic. People love it. I've watched it. Crowds come by here. Even the daycare parents are enjoying it.
To learn more about Heroes on Wheels, check out the Heroes on Wheels Facebook page. In Waterville, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
If I wasn't hungry before, I certainly am now. Well, a report from the Maine Tourism Association showed many businesses are actually unprepared for the large volume of people expected to visit the state in the next few months. Our Matthew Juronsik explains.
There are many reasons why Maine is known as vacation land. The nice weather, picture-perfect views, and, of course, the seafood. Because of its reputation, the state has seen steady growth in its tourism industry. Every year, the Maine Tourism Association conducts a statewide study of how businesses are equipped for the upcoming tourist season. The study found just 29% of business owners reported they had sufficient staffing levels going into the summer season.
There's still a staffing shortage out there. A lot of businesses are going into the season that are going to be understaffed from where they really need to be.
Even well-known landmarks like Union River Lobster Pot report they're struggling to hire enough staff, despite their best efforts.
I used to be able to start in April and be able to finish up by mid-May by the time we would open up in June. But now we start in January, and late January, early February in recruiting. So it's gotten to be almost a full-time job.
Other local business owners spoke about the preparation that goes into preparing for the summer season.
Usually by the end of the previous summer, we start planning for the next summer. So we decide what we want to carry, staffing and all of that. So it's usually an 8 to 10 month lead process for us.
For us, it's just about, sort of building up our supply here in the store, knowing what people are looking for, and just being ready for the influx of people.
Maine Tourism Association Executive Director Tony Cameron says companies struggling with staffing should utilize the programs the organization offers to help recruit and retain employees.
We're all in this together, being proactive about it instead of being reactive, trying to go out and use the resources that the tourism job boards that are out there, and communicate with each other. We're going to help try to mitigate this problem better than other states.
In Ellsworth, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, and definitely a lot of areas just bracing for that wave of tourists coming in. This is the time of the year that we kind of start to see that happening, and just hoping that businesses can recruit as many people as they possibly can to help them through the summer.
Well, you want them to enjoy being busy. I mean, after everything we went through with the pandemic and, folks either having to shut down or just, shut down temporarily, you want them to be able to enjoy having a lot of customers patronizing their establishments. But when you're understaffed, it's really, really stressful. So, you hope that everybody gets the help that they need.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, still to come on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, ahead of an expected surge at the border when Title 42 expires, President Biden says he's sending 1,500 troops to the border.
And loneliness is declared a public health emergency. We'll hear from the Surgeon General on why. Those stories and much more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Polar 1, I got help to push back.
I got help to push back.
We got help to push back with Lybalvi.
Once daily prescription Lybalvi is proven to treat manic or mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults to help you push back. Elderly patients with dementia have an increased risk of death or stroke. Do not take Lybalvi if you are taking opioids or are in opioid withdrawal. The samidorphan in Lybalvi can cause severe opioid withdrawal that can lead to hospitalization or increased risk of life-threatening overdose. Get emergency help if you have trouble breathing, become very drowsy with slowed or shallow breathing, or feel faint, very dizzy, or confused, or if you have fever, stiff muscles, confusion, rash, swollen glands, or problems with your liver, kidneys, heart, or lungs. Other serious side effects may include high cholesterol, weight gain, potentially fatal high blood sugar, uncontrolled body movements, which may be permanent, dizziness upon standing or falls.
Are you ready to push back against bipolar 1? Ask your doctor if Lybalvi is right for you.
We've got your back, road warriors, because we know you're picking up the pace. Steering life at 10 and 2. you're hitting the road. And we're helping you get there with confidence. So skip the counter without missing a beat. Choose any car in the aisle and be the boss of you. Go national. Go like a pro.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
He's going to speak now.
The good news, US Cellular gives you $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in needed.
Wow.
So, friend who always has a broken phone can finally get a new one.
Oh, it's just a scratch.
It's broken.
Oh.
Ooh. It's busted.
We're good. Oh no.
Get $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
The man accused of shooting and killing 5 people in Cleveland, Texas last week has been taken into custody. Multiple sources report 38-year-old Francisco Oropesa was taken into custody without incident in the Cleveland area. He was taken in by BORTAC agents, a special operations group of the Border Patrol. Oropesa, a Mexican national who's been reportedly deported 4 times, is accused of killing 5 people inside a Texas home last Friday after a neighbor confronted him, complaining about shooting his gun while he was intoxicated. Police say Oropesa killed the neighbor and her 9-year-old son, in addition to 3 others.
Well, the Biden administration will send 1,500 active duty troops to the U.S.-Mexico border starting next week ahead of an expected migrant surge following the end of pandemic-era restrictions. Those restrictions, known as Title 42, have allowed authorities to quickly expel migrants millions of times without allowing them to seek asylum. The troops will be deployed for 90 days and will be pulled from the Army and Marine Corps. The White House says military personnel will do data entry, warehouse support, and other administrative tasks so that U.S. Customs and Border Protection can focus on field work.
They will not be performing law enforcement functions or interacting with immigrants or migrants. This will free up Border Patrol agents to perform their critical law enforcement duties. I will also add that this would not be necessary if Congress would act.
There are already 2,500 National Guard members at the border.
A Senate hearing today examined whether Congress should implement a code of ethics for Supreme Court justices. The proposal follows reports that Justice Clarence Thomas participated in luxury vacations and a real estate deal with a top GOP donor. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more.
A heated debate on Capitol Hill Tuesday as lawmakers on the Democrat-controlled Senate Judiciary Committee hold a hearing on Supreme Court ethics reform. Committee members scrutinizing the justices after reports some failed to disclose expensive trips and real estate transactions involving Republican donors.
This is a political attack directed at a justice they hate.
And Democratic lawmakers claim Congress must act.
It is critical to our democracy that the American people have confidence that judges cannot be bought or influenced.
Members of Congress have introduced legislation requiring the justices to adopt a code of conduct to impose on current and future justices, a move that may or may not be constitutional.
The Supreme Court would never write our ethics rules and say, we don't like your rules, so you need to use these, under the separation of powers, which is fundamental in the Constitution.
The hearing comes 1 year to the day after the unprecedented leak of a draft of the Dobbs opinion, ultimately overturning Roe v. Wade. Some Republicans say Democrats are undermining the 6-3 conservative majority as the court's rulings have shifted to the right on controversial cases.
It's about an effort to destroy the legitimacy of this conservative court.
Notably absent, members of the High Court. Chairman Dick Durbin invited Chief Justice John Roberts or a justice of his choice, but he declined the request to testify. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
The Surgeon General has declared the latest public health epidemic as more and more Americans are reporting an increase in loneliness and isolation. Feelings, health experts say, are a major health threat, with loneliness increasing the risk of premature death by 26% and social isolation by 29%. Fox's C.B. Cotton has the story.
Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling.
This is a new warning from U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, the country's top doc, releasing an 81-page report finding widespread loneliness and isolation in America poses health risk as deadly as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Loneliness and isolation are associated with a greater risk of heart disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and premature death.
And if you suffer from loneliness and isolation, you're not alone, with 1 in every 2 adults experiencing those feelings, the Surgeon General declaring it the latest public health epidemic.
Social connection is as fundamental to our mental and physical health as food, water, and sleep.
Research shows the increase in cases stems from people spending less time with friends and family, reduced attendance at houses of worship, and decreased involvement with community organizations. Another major contributing factor, the COVID-19 pandemic, when millions were forced to isolate. Loneliness costs the health industry billions of dollars annually. The report is not expected to lead to federal funding or initiatives to combat the problem, but lays out a framework for people, businesses, and organizations to make changes to boost connectivity.
It's really important that we commit to spending less time with screens and more time with other people.
The report showing social media also contributes to the epidemic, citing those who spend 2 or more hours on the platforms doubled their risk of feeling isolated. In New York, C.B. Cotton, Fox News.
A bipartisan effort is underway to protect children on social media. 2 senators have reintroduced legislation that would require sites to default to stricter settings for younger users. Fox's Aisha Hasni has more.
David Molak was just 16 years old when he took his own life. A victim of relentless cyberbullying, his mom says, run rampant on social media.
They were targeting his appearance, threatened him, and told him he should never go back to school, put him in a body bag, put him 6 feet under.
His story is one of the many reasons why Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn and Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal are putting politics aside and reintroducing their Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, to give parents more control over what their kids see.
This is how they're meeting drug dealers. It's how they're learning about how to commit suicide and music to commit suicide to.
The bill requires social media platforms to default to stricter settings for users 17 and under. It would also let parents disable features that are addictive and opt out of recommendations made by powerful algorithms.
This idea is not red or blue. It's not Republican or Democrat. There's no red or blue algorithm driving toxic content.
But the pair face pushback. Last year, about 100 advocacy groups sent a letter to Senate Leader Chuck Schumer opposing the bill, claiming it could limit a child's access to sex education or resources for LGBTQ plus youth. But Blumenthal says he and Blackburn have updated the bill, limiting potential harmful content to substance abuse, suicide, and eating disorders.
The ACLU still not happy with the bill, though. Meanwhile, Fox did ask Leader Schumer if he would support this particular piece of legislation. He would only go so far as to say that he would want to see some kind of child protections in an online bill. On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, over 11,000 writers for film and TV went on strike today. We'll have details.
And in sports, Brewer baseball is unbeaten to start the year. How their pitching, defense, and former teammates' memory are driving them. We'll be right back.
Small town farmers search for love in the heartland.
It's really hit me in the heart like this is real.
Farmer Wants a Wife, Wednesday on Fox.
Dirt Road Acres, your #1 trusted dispensary. Dirt Road Acres provides outstanding patient consulting and services to Eastern and Central Maine. Located at the corner of Route 9 and Route 7 in Dixmont. Stop by and see Jen or one of the girls today. Now offering delivery.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. The Tucson comes standard with Hyundai complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Detail 207, an average guy with the knowledge and skills to fully detail your vehicle. From cars and trucks to big rigs and motorcycles, we detail it all. If it has wheels and it isn't as clean as you'd like it to be, give me a call and we'll set up an appointment today. 659-2995.
Shine on a dime with your average guys at Detail 207.
Hey, Red Sox fans, you've got to play You Pick'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Local weekly winners receive prizes from Herman Meadow Golf Club or The Local. Register now at foxbangor.com. You Pick'em Red Sox is sponsored by Bruns Chiropractic Clinic in Bangor, Eddington Store in Eddington, Maine Collision Center in Bangor, and Twin City Tile in Brewer.
It's time to get down to the business of food, and I'm looking to invest.
$250,000.
Of my own money. It's not just an investment, it's a partnership. Each week, I'll put the best food entrepreneurs to the test.
It has 2.2 horsepower. That's like a go-kart.
Winners hustle and make tough decisions fast.
And drop the ball.
This was a profit challenge. I'm looking for my next food star. The person who I'll be investing in is
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars premieres Wednesday, May 24th on Fox.
Dirt Road Acres, your #1 trusted dispensary. Dirt Road Acres provides outstanding patient consulting and services to Eastern and Central Maine. Located at the corner of Route 9 and Route 7 in Dixmont. Stop by and see Jen or one of the girls today. Now offering delivery.
An Illinois interstate is open again after a series of chain reaction crashes took the lives of 6 people. Brave emergency responders rushed to the chaotic scene Monday, going in blind to try and help victims. Fox's Katie Byrne has more from Divernon, Illinois.
At this point, this is just a terrible series of converging circumstances, very unusual, and a terrible loss of life.
Illinois officials are investigating the deadly chain reaction crashes that occurred after a dust storm blew through Interstate 55 Monday. The victims range in age from 2 to 80 years old, officials having a hard time identifying all the victims to bring closure to their families. Many witnesses reported seeing fires break out from the crashes, and in some cases, the only identifying details police have to go on is some mix of vehicle color, make, and model.
We're needing information from the public or potentially from family members or from witnesses or anybody who may know anything about the identities.
No criminal charges have been filed, but criminal investigation agents are helping to identify the remains. Officials say at least 72 vehicles were involved, including tractor trailers.
Emergency personnel arriving on a scene where they could not see. And take an immediate action.
Officials stress this was a unique and dynamic incident, but they are reminding drivers what to do in an emergency like this if it happens again.
Whatever you do, do not just stop right in the middle of the interstate. The road is drivable, but again, we would warn motorists to be very aware of the weather.
All of the deaths from the incident happened on the northbound lanes. In Divernon, Illinois, Katie Byrne, Fox Weather.
Meanwhile, more than 11,000 writers for film and TV went on strike today. It comes one day after negotiations for higher pay reached a dead end. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has more.
TV and film writers headed to the picket line on Tuesday, calling for higher wages, mandatory minimum staff, and more residual pay. The walkout put late-night shows in the dark and threatened to pause hundreds of other productions.
Neither side likes a strike. Hopefully both sides can come together because it affects a lot more people than just the writers in the studios.
It's the first time screenwriters have launched a strike in more than a decade. Negotiations began in March, but the two sides fell short of an agreement on Monday. Among the issues, compensation for streaming shows, which typically produce fewer episodes per season than network ones.
The companies say, look, we're spending billions of dollars to build out these platforms. It's just a very tight economic position. The Writers Guild response is, if you're going to spend billions of dollars to build worldwide enterprises based on our content, we need a fair piece of that, and we need to be able to sustain careers.
The 2008 writers' strike lasted for more than 3 months and cost the Los Angeles economy about $2 billion. It's a situation production crews, set designers, and caterers fear could happen again.
We're a small business. It's my mom and myself. We have employees of our own. We have no answers for our employees.
If the walkout continues, we can expect studios to focus on news, sports, and reality TV this fall. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
In other news, a drug shortage in the United States affects Adderall, Ozempic, and more than 300 total medications with no clear resolution. Fox's Lydia Hu has more.
Adderall, albuterol, even amoxicillin. These are all common drugs that are in short supply.
And it's hard for us because we have to help them to navigate through the channel because we frontline. But we deal with a lot of these frustration for themselves and for us as well. And it's very limited resource that we can provide it to them.
There are 301 drug shortages reported in the country right now, an increase by 49% over the same period in 2018. Experts believe the shortages are driven by manufacturing problems and spikes in demand, but they say it's hard to know because drug makers not obligated to disclose the cause. According to the University of Utah Drug Information Service, more than half of drug makers with reported shortages would not explain the reason, which also makes it hard to predict when shortages will end.
These are private companies, privately held companies with shareholders. And what are they doing to help us have a resilient supply chain and have access to the medications that we need? We need more transparency about who's making the medicines, where they're being made, and what quality those medications are.
Another issue, growing reliance on foreign nations for drugs and ingredients. Especially vulnerable are generic, sterile, injectable drugs needed for critical acute care. At least 90% of them rely on China and India. That's according to the Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response. Lawmakers now calling our reliance on foreign nations and drug shortages in this country a national security threat. Reporting from Manhattan, New York, Lydia Hu, Fox Business.
Well, in other news, more dogs in New York City are becoming ill from coming across disposed marijuana joints. As the city opened the first legal recreational pot store last year, more people are consuming marijuana in the open, leaving a lot of discarded joints and edibles for dogs to come across. Marijuana poisonings, which are rarely fatal, were once rare among pets, but health experts believe the opening of dispensaries is fueling an increase in marijuana poisonings among dogs.
So within a millisecond, you're walking your dog, you might notice that they're licking their lips, or maybe they just grab something. Could it be a French fry, or could it be the end of a joint? And sometimes it's the end of a joint and the people don't know. The drug THC is extremely toxic to dogs. They concentrate it in their bloodstream, it gets stored in their fat, and it affects their central nervous system. And in that process, they get stoned in a bad way.
American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals in 2022, there was an 11% increase from the roughly 6,200 cases reported in 2021. Over the past 5 years, there has been a 300% increase. So an issue you might not think about right away, but something to definitely shed a light on. Yeah. And in a state like Maine, where that's also legal, it's something to keep in mind. Definitely less packed in terms of
people for sure, but the same conditions exist. And I know my dogs, are real subtle and sneaky about things. They can very quickly go from sniffing to sampling, as I'm sure yours can as well.
Yep.
And it's a dangerous thing. You really have to be vigilant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a lot to keep in mind there.
Alrighty, well, coming up, we've got all the answers in our full 5-day. Stay with us.
Get ready, folks. More of an active weather pattern will be in our area. When are we finally going to see some sunshine? When is this rain going to disappear? I'll have the answers and more coming up.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Allow us to reintroduce the right amount of spicy. Lightly breaded and spicy tempura, made with a blend of aged cayenne. If you're meeting for the first time, lucky you. Spicy Chicken McNuggets, they're back.
For a limited time, enjoy Spicy Chicken McNuggets or get a Spicy McCrispy sandwich. Plus, you can add any size Dr. Pepper for even more refreshment.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
This summer, when the mission is to save humanity, who can you count on the most?
Hey, I'm a celebrity on 2 planets now.
Stars on Mars, coming this June on Fox.
Pull up a seat. It's the new season of the USFL. Reborn from the OGs. Dragons, USDA primetime football. Except no substitutes. Saturdays. Baseball's best are showing out. Swing and a drive. Fox Saturday Baseball all season long.
And happy Tuesday and welcome back. Our main weather today is brought to you by the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store. Visit our ranch and meet the alpacas or shop in our store in downtown Belfast. All right, folks, what a day out there today. A couple of rain showers, more scattered rain showers west of town is where we're looking at more of that steadier rain with those yellows indicating even some heavy rain at times. But this system is large. Not only large, it's very, very slow moving. It's been hovering in the upper Midwest the last 4 days. For us, though, it will be a disturbance the next couple of days. So bring those umbrellas. Don't forget that, because we will get more chances of scattered rain tonight, tomorrow, and then once again into Thursday. Maybe even a couple of wet snowflakes mixing in north of town, Greenville into Millinocket and north. We're not looking at accumulations as temperatures will be above freezing, but still a wet snowflake or two cannot be ruled out. Rainfall-wise, though, not much. Maybe a quarter of an inch by the coast. East of town, same story, and maybe a little bit more with those heavier rain bands moving in. That's going to be just west of town. Here, we're looking at maybe a quarter of an inch, so not a big rain event, but still a disturbance that will be in the area the next couple of days. Temperatures, though, have been a little bit more on the chillier end, especially in the Midwest, upper Midwest, where even some snow is still falling in Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. But just to the west, look at all this warm air making its way up from the south, Texas, back into normal temperatures, 70s and 80s. For us, though, near average today, 60 degrees. The coast a little bit cooler, 50s, where we did have a little bit of that ocean breeze. The ocean, of course, is still a little bit on the cooler end. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s in the ocean out there. For us, though, temperature-wise, have been literally up and down. It's been a roller coaster trend every 3-4 days. This is average for spring, especially more into beginning to middle of spring. But temperatures We'll be warming up nicely. We're looking at beach weather or close to beach weather by Saturday, Sunday, especially into beginning to middle of next week. Tonight, though, we're looking at more chances of scattered rain. Temperatures around 43 degrees and a light breeze. The wind will start to die down slightly. Tomorrow, though, we're looking at an east wind gusting around 30 miles an hour. Temperatures around 50 degrees. Scattered rain showers as well. This will not be an all-day event. We are looking at lots of dry hours, so more of a scattered rain event. Our extended forecast outlook does show a little bit more rain on Thursday. Temperatures well below average once again. And then finally, by Friday, warmer air moves in. We'll be under a ridge, so that means warm air from the south continues to make its way up, and we'll see lots of sunshine right in time for our weekend. Temperatures close to 70 degrees. Beth?
Always love it when the weekend is looking stellar.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next couple days shape up with those rain chances, but love to see that sunshine poking through after that.
For sure.
All right.
All right, well, sports is coming up next. Keep it right here.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
You found the one. Peaks Hill Lodge in Denham. Beautiful outdoor and indoor weddings and events in a relaxed, rustic atmosphere. Dance the night away on our 1,100 square foot dance floor. Full service catering and cash bar. Peaks Hill Lodge. Contact us to schedule a tour and book your wedding today.
When it comes to the feud,
name a way a woman might say she likes her men and her cheese.
You either nail it,
sharp,
spicy, or fail it.
full of adventure.
When you're at the grocery store, you want to find some adventurous cheese running around the dairy section.
Family Feud.
Where are you going? Stop all this adventure.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Ansley Moore, a realtor since 2013, working throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Let's start with some high school baseball. Brewer is on a tear to start 2023, a streak driven by the mound, their defense, and a special person they're playing for.
All the hard work that the kids have put in towards the offseason, and especially paid off early in the season.
Brewer Witches baseball is on a hot start. Coming into Tuesday, they're a perfect 5-0 on the year.
Obviously a great start to the year, and we're still working really hard at practice and preparing for games, just taking it one game at a time.
Their crown jewel so far is no doubt their pitching. The Witches allowed just 7 runs in their first 5 games. The staff is led by junior ace Grady Venetestein.
Oh, he's very important to this team. His balls have a lot of movement to him. Off-speed's pretty good, change-up's pretty good, fastball. Not a lot of people can hit it.
Regardless, Venetestein says he's nothing without those who back him up.
I trust my defense behind me to roll ground balls, and I just try to pitch the contact, get my defense to make the plays for me, and the strikeouts will come.
And that defense is living up to those expectations. You can count the amount of errors the Witches have had this year on one hand.
Coach Corey is very big on working the defensive side of the ball. We do it quite a few times during the week. We're trying to get as many reps as we can and trying to make the hard things look easy, so when it comes in the game, it's a little bit smoother transition.
But aside from their play and what they're playing for, this season is also driven by who they're playing for. their teammate Bryce Basso, who recently passed away.
He was a big part of our school and our friend group, and it was a tough loss, but we're really dedicating this year to him.
Hard worker, heads down, did all the things he needed to do to work hard. Nothing but great things about him.
With all of that put together, the Witches believe that they can put another state title into the school's trophy case.
We do have a tight group and a lot of veterans that are back. I'm just really confident this year in how we stick together and play as a team.
Okay, now let's go to some boys lacrosse action. Over at historic Doyle Field in Brewer, the Witches hosted John Bapst in the first of their 2 meetings this season. Brewer looking to win back-to-back. Bapst looking for 3 in a row. Let's go to the 4th quarter. Brewer leads. Ryder Goodwin off the pass decides to just let it rip, and it goes in to extend the Witches' lead. Later on, Aiden Davis on the break. Up ahead to Owen Spalding. Hello, behind the back, just sneaks it in near side. Wow, Witches continue to roll. Then the Crusaders would get on the board. Here's Connor Gooley to Will Cashman. He gets it into the net for the goal, but Brewers' defense and goalie Wyatt McIntyre would be key down the stretch. Watch this save here off the shot from Gavin Bartlett. The Witches would stand firm and win their second straight. 8-2 is the final. And now for the boys' lax nightcap over at Cameron. Mount Blue coming up to visit Handon Academy. First quarter, Mount Blue's Tyler Abel in X to Dustin Hinckley, and he nails it with the bounce. His 4th of the game. 5-0 Cougars after 1. Second quarter, Broncos clawing back. Aaron Donovan to Jack Johnson, and he puts it in 5-2. And then 10 seconds later, Tucker Leland picks up the ground ball and bounces in a long shot there to make it 5-3. Couple minutes later, crazy sequence here. The shot from Mount Blue's Chase Ranger gets saved by Matt Shane. What a save. But then Abel emerges, gets it to Hinckley, and that is 5 on the night for him. 6-4 at the half. Cougars hang on in the end and win it 8-6. Okay, now let's go to the NBA, as the Celtics will try to rebound tomorrow night when they host the 76ers in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Sixers, who were without All-Star center and now league MVP Joel Embiid, held on for a stunning 119-115 win on Monday night. Philly is also now 5-0 in the postseason after sweeping the Nets in round 1. The Celtics, who had a lead late in the game, committing too many costly turnovers, 16 to be exact, something they'll need to correct heading into Game 2. But the Celtics are not pushing any panic buttons just yet.
I got to be better at play calling and getting us into our spacing quicker. So it's from that, and then just I think at times we were caught in between a 2-on-1 where we could have shot it and got a good look, but tried to get a great look. And sometimes you just in situations like that where they're scrambling, you just can't pass up good looks. So it's a little bit on me, and then it's a little bit of just we got to have the freedom to just shoot the ball, knock down open shots.
Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work. giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National. Go like a pro.
Did you know that an alpaca item is the most wish-listed gift idea? Stop searching for that perfect gift and start shopping for it at the Blue Alpaca in Belfast. It doesn't matter who's on your gift list, the Blue Alpaca has something for everyone with an incredible selection of alpaca socks, hats, sweaters, even stuffed animals, and more. Shop in-store or online and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. Too much to choose from? Don't worry, the Blue Alpaca also offers gift cards. The Blue Alpaca, feel the difference.
Since 1950, Fairhaven Camps, located in Brooks, Maine, has provided quality Christian summer camping experiences to young people from Maine and beyond. At Fairhaven Camps, we empower youth from ages 6 through 17 to seek the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Fairhaven Camps offers day or overnight camps as well as horsemanship and wilderness camps. Fairhaven Camps is now hiring for summer staff and accepting registration for campers. To sign up, apply, or donate, please visit www.fairhavencamps.org or call us today.
Solving crimes has never tasted so good.
Delicious.
I murdered a donut.
That's a crime scene.
Crime Scene Kitchen returns Monday, May 22nd on Fox.
Welcome back. We have an update tonight on an Air Force veteran from Waterville who's been battling cancer. We first introduced you to Lori Roy back in June of 2022, shortly after a routine mammogram uncovered she had stage 2 breast cancer. The Air Force veteran served 16 years before being medically discharged in 2013. Over the last 6 months, she's completed 6 chemotherapy appointments at Mercy Hospital, 25 radiation treatments, and 2 surgeries before she was able to ring the bell at the Alphon Cancer Center in Augusta.
I might not know why it happened to me, but it did, and I'm going to take what I can out of it. Everything is a blessing or a lesson. So you just got to figure out which is which and take it. And it was both a blessing and a lesson.
Roy says she will continue to go to follow-up care appointments as necessary. We obviously wish her the very best in her continued recovery.
And finally tonight, Husson University invited the public to its Bangor campus to take part in the end-of-semester art walk. Students selected their best artwork, which was put on display across 7 venues on campus. From traditional forms of artwork like drawings, paintings, and photography to graphic design and animation, and even projects in virtual and extended reality, the exhibitions covered a wide array of mediums. Associate Professor of Studio Arts Kathy Smith says students had to overcome some obstacles as they experimented with the new techniques.
We find that it can be really challenging and really rewarding to work in different mediums and art forms that are new, and that it does actually support their careers and their fields and their livelihoods later on.
If you didn't get the chance to attend the art walk, you can view this story on our website to find more from those exhibitions, and certainly lots of cool artwork there and just lots of cool art forms that they were working with too. Virtual and extended reality, I'd love to know more about that.
Yeah, and congratulations just to all the students to getting to the end of the road and having, that exhibition, that culmination.
It's a good feeling.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station ABC7 right now for ABC7 News at 11.